Hello folks, this video is about the build of a tractor scoop for my Craftsman tractor, and the idea here is to make it clamshell so that it will be lifted by a linear actuator, which I already have in place here, and it will be opened by an additional linear actuator that will be situated somewhere in this area that will essentially open up the clamshell, which is comprised of the bottom and the sides. So as you can see, I'm using a snowplow, a 46-inch snowplow purchased off of Craigslist. I think I paid about $80 or something like that. And that was the plow with the mounting arm and all of that assembly right here. This was actually for a Murray tractor, so I did adapt the mount to fit on the Craftsman, and so this way this is the same mount that is universal for my attachments, including my snowblower that I use for the winter, the snow thrower. This whole stuff in the middle is going to get changed. This is the original. As you can see, I had added this so that I could mount my linear actuator there and still swivel the plow left and right. I found that it's useless, and it puts a lot of distance between the tractor front and the plow, which obviously is going to add more weight to the front axle of the tractor. So what I plan on doing is removing all this garbage here. For now, I'm leaving it here because I have the right angle of the plow to the ground. But eventually, I'm going to remove this whole thing once I'm done with assembling the scoop itself and mounting it. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put an angle iron from this to that attached to the plow itself with some carriage bolts and weld it here on each side. And then I'm going to have arms that go, again, made out of angle iron that go from this hole right here, which has become a universal mounting hole for my front detacher as well. And so it's going to go from here to the plow. This is going to move in closer. It'll probably be somewhere over here. And then on this mounting arm itself is where I'll mount the linear actuator that will lift the clamshell. So the clamshell is going to be connected together across here with, again, probably another angle iron bar. And then on that will be a lever that will allow me to open the clamshell. So at the moment, so in terms of materials, I'm using 1/8 thick sheeting by 12 inches wide. So the bottom is 12 and the sides are 12 as well. Obviously, since the sides need to go in further back here because of the curvature of the plow, it sticks out over here, which is actually good. I don't know that I want to leave this much room. I have about, let's see, yeah, I have about 1.25 inches there. So I'm not sure that I want to leave that much, but it's good to leave that so that it allows it to bite into the ground. I'm not planning on using this to dig, but you know, maybe lightly scrape the ground to level it off, and definitely pick up loose dirt that I might have delivered, you know, like loam for my lawn, or obviously mulch. That's the lightest stuff that you can have. Maybe some gravel. So, you know, having a little bit of stick out here is good. Again, I'm not sure that I'm going to leave this much. What I might do, in fact, add an angle bracket right here, again made out of this same material, bent so that it reinforces this joint, and it kind of comes over here and maybe creates a little bit of a 45 right here, so that, and then I'll sharpen these edges so that it can bite into the ground. I'm using 1/8 sheeting, but I really wanted to use 3/16. I think, especially for the bottom anyways. The sides, 1/8 is fine, but the bottom I would have liked to use 3/16. I just can't find it at the price that I'm willing to pay. This comes off of this material comes from a metal recycling place. So I think it's good enough. What I am planning on doing is I bought a little 1/2 inch tall bar, and so I'm going to weld it on this bottom here along the back edge of the scoop right here. So that way, when the scoop closes, it has a positive stop to slam against and force it shut. Nothing will fall off from here, and that will provide reinforcement, to stiffen this this sheeting right here. On the front, I might also add either a 3/16 or even possibly a 1/4 inch, by 1 inch or so bar. That will essentially act as a scraper bar, kind of like what they have over here. And maybe I'll move this one. I don't know. I don't think I'll be using that plow really for what it was meant to be. Although with the clamshell open, it could still be used to kind of level off the ground. So I'll probably leave that there and just get something else that goes here. So that should stiffen it off. Again, I don't plan on doing major excavation work with this. It's just going to be for light pick up loose dirt type of thing, the heaviest material. What I did is I left a little bit of I don't know if you can see it, a little bit of reveal here, so that way when the scoop closes, it'll close positive into the plow itself. As you can see, there's also a lip on the bottom right here. So basically, the plow is sitting on top of that piece of material that's on the front, on the bottom section of the scooper. So same on the other side. I've shaped them, I've cut them, and for the hinge, I plan on using a section of pipe like this. It'll probably be about 3 or 4 inches on this side, and maybe about 1 inch on this side. It'll be welded here, and then I have a pin which actually came off of my snowblower pulleys assembly. And so there'll be a pin that goes right in. It fits nicely into this pipe, and this pipe will be welded here, and then the other section welded here, maybe a washer in between. So it'll be nice and snug like that, and that should be a nice hinge. So then I'm going to have to extend these up a little bit, and again weld this bar that goes across, that connects the top of these wings right here from one side to the other. So having them obviously welded at the bottom and then welded at the top will be one piece that can swivel easily. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm going to start tacking these in. Then I'll probably build a hinge and show you progress as I make it. Okay, here's a quick update of the scooper. It is tacked in, so sides are cut and tacked in over there. That side is also cut and tacked in, as well as the hinges. Okay, so the hinges is just a piece of pipe that goes from here to here with my pin in the middle. I'll be welding also a 3/4 inch piece of the same pipe on this side, so that it provides a nice good surface to ride on. So it's lifted off the ground right now just as a first trial. As you can see, it is bowing in the middle, so that stiffener bar in the center right up against this edge will definitely add a lot of stability. And as far as swiveling, it swivels. Okay, so that's it. Mock-up is essentially done. Now it's taking shape. I added my stiffener bars here at the end. You can see it right there, all along. Again, it's just tacked in right now. Didn't come out as straight as I wanted it over there at 90 degrees with respect to the bottom, but overall it's good. And now the bottom does not flex. I feel it's much stiffer, and it has a nice positive stop right there. If this was straight, eventually it will be. And so it's coming out really good. Okay, quick update. End of day 2 of fabrication. Actually got done quite a bit. As you can see, again, the scoop is all assembled. I have marked the bar that will allow me to open the scoop. And I have also fabricated a new bracketry there for the back to allow it to connect to the tractor itself. I also installed the bracket that will hold the second linear actuator that will go up to this arm here that will be of some length, yet to be determined. I have a 9-inch linear actuator that I'm hoping will work for that. So that's the next step, and once that's complete, Then I will weld this in place where it needs to be, and it's gonna be done. So I will take it apart. Kind of, not much to take apart really, but I'll just give it a quick sanding with a wire wheel, and give it a paint, spray paint, and that's it. It's done. So I'll update us again when I'm further along.